Single dad's heartwarming act of kindness reveals his daughter's incredible wish for a new mommy. Jake stepped into the buzzing community center, a dimly lit haven filled with laughter and chatter. As children scrambled across the floor, their voices mingling like a joyful symphony. Heart heavy and eyes scanning the vibrant scene, he found Lily. She was engulfed in a sea of kids, her laughter ringing out like a beacon of hope amidst the storm clouds that had been lingering in their lives. Ever since his wife's death, Jake poured everything into raising his spirited 8-year-old daughter, each day a balancing act of sorrow and determination. As he knelt beside her, ruffling her hair, a flicker of unease sparked within him. The truth was hard to swallow. Since the loss of his beloved wife, their lives had changed in unimaginable ways. Lily, in all her joy, was still carrying the weight of both their dreams and fears. And he was shoulder-deep in grease and grit in their family garage, trying to piece together a life of purpose from the shards left behind. "I want to help," she whispered to him that day, so eager and innocent, volunteering at the shelter. He watched her gallivant towards a group of kids, each one sharing stories of family mothers baking cookies, fathers coaching teams, and the kind of laughter that seemed to echo through time. Jake's heart clenched as he overheard Lily. "I wish I had a mom like that." In that moment, the air felt thick, the walls around his chest crumbled. Could it be true? Was he failing to give her what she needed? Every empowering image he had held onto shattered like glass, leaving jagged shards of an aching realization embedded deep in his heart. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Jake had always prided himself on being the perfect father, tireless worker, doting father, and a stoic individual in the face of life's challenges. Yet, here he sat, with an unmistakable emptiness gnawing at him, frustration clawing at every corner of his soul. He needed to redefine their family, find a community that would embrace them both, but was terrified of exposing his heart to judgment. The colorful drawings Lily created, with their innocent depictions of a perfect mom, began to haunt him. Each one was a bittersweet reminder of their loss and the desperate longing that neither of them spoke about. Though he tried to engage more with the community, often he felt eyes watching, whispers lingering around him, questioning if he was enough, a single dad doing his best. Then, the storm hit. Fierce winds howled like wild animals, stealing the breath from the town and unleashing torrential rains that turned Maplewood into a chaotic tableau of nature's fury. Amidst the chaos, Jake discovered strength he didn't know he had, his heart bursting with purpose as he rallied neighbors and strangers alike. In that desperate fight for survival, he formed new bonds, friendships forged in fear, reshaping his view of what family truly meant as the storm calmed. A powerful realization washed over him. Love and community can fill the void left by loss. Just as Jake began to embrace this drive for connection, Lily's wish loomed larger than ever, echoing in his mind. Would he have the courage to address her longing, or was he destined to remain in the shadows of fear? Desperate to redefine their lives as they began healing, he stood at a crossroads, hope mingling with uncertainty, knowing that their future might not be as solitary as he once believed. The days following the storm felt different. The sun broke through the clouds, casting a warm glow over Maplewood, and with it came a new resolve within Jake. It was as if nature had washed away more than just rain. It had cleansed his heart of doubt, leaving clarity in its wake. Sitting at the kitchen table, he watched Lily hunched over her drawings, the familiar sound of crayons scratching against paper filling the air. Each stroke brought to life a new scene, vibrant images of houses and gardens, friends playing, and smiling faces. Yet, amidst the joy, Jake noticed something. There was always a mother figure in the background, nurturing, loving, and altogether absent. "Hey kiddo," he said softly, breaking the silence. Lily lifted her head, her big eyes sparkling with curiosity. "What are you drawing today?" "Just a family," she replied, a hint of hesitation coating her words. He swallowed hard, wondering how to navigate this sensitive moment. "Is it how you imagine our family?" he probed gently. Lily nodded, her expression turning serious. I wish we had a mom, you know? It would make things better." Jake's heart sank. Her words hung in the air like unspent rain. He fought against the wave of guilt rising within him. "I know you miss her, Lily." "I miss her too," he said softly. "But we have each other. We're a family, right?" "Yeah." But she paused, fiddling with her crayons. "It's not the same." His chest ached with an all-too-familiar pain. What was he supposed to say? How could he possibly fill an absence that felt so profound? He needed to acknowledge her feelings while also protecting his own heartbreak. "Maybe we can meet other families?" he suggested, trying to keep his voice steady. "We could do fun things together. Like go to the park, have picnics, maybe find new friends?" Lily's eyes lit up briefly, then faded again. "That could be fun. But would it help? I really want what we used to have." Jake raked a hand through his hair, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders. "I can't be her sweetheart. I can't bring back what we lost, but I can promise to do my best. Maybe I can take us to that community event they're talking about at the center? There'll be a lot of families there." Lily hesitated, glancing back at her drawings. "And if we meet someone, what then?" He could see her hope mixed with fear, and it twisted something deep inside him. "Then we'll see where it goes. Open our hearts a little," he replied, realizing how much he needed the same. That evening, Jake spent hours online, searching for community events and support groups. The thought of stepping into a new world filled him with a mix of excitement and dread. What if they met someone who made Lily smile like before? What if that someone could fit their strange new family dynamic? He settled on a local gathering scheduled for the weekend, a potluck filled with games and laughter. As he filled out a sign-up sheet, he reminded himself that taking this leap might be the key to healing for both him and Lily. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an orange glow through their window, Jake turned to Lily, who was now absorbed in organizing her crayons. "Tomorrow's a big day. Are you excited?" She glanced up, uncertainty clouding her expression. "What if I don't like the people there?" "Then we'll leave," he assured her, trying to sound confident. "But I think you'll find some new friends." For a moment, they locked eyes, sharing a silent agreement. Tomorrow, they would step out together into the unknown, ready to face whatever came next. But as Jake stared at the drawings scattered across the table, each a fleeting glimpse of a loving mother, he wondered, was stepping into this new life what they truly needed? With hope pulsating in his chest and uncertainty lingering in the back of his mind, he took a deep breath. Would tomorrow's venture bring them closer to what they lost or create a new path entirely? The morning sun peeked through the curtains, illuminating the kitchen in a soft glow. Jake was already awake, the coffee brewing, filling the air with its rich aroma. His thoughts raced as he prepared for the day ahead. Today felt like a leap into the unknown, an adventure tinged with both promise and anxiety. "Hey, sleepyhead," he called out as he set a plate of pancakes on the table. "Breakfast is ready." Lily rubbed her eyes and shuffled into the kitchen, her hair a tousled mess. The sight of the pancakes made her smile. "Yum. Did you make these, Dad?" "Of course." "Well, the pancakes were a team effort. I whipped up the batter, but the magic was all you." He ruffled her hair as she took a seat. They both dug into breakfast, laughter breaking the lingering tension from the night before. As they shared bites, Jake stole glances at Lily. The way she laughed, the sparkle in her eyes, it reminded him of the little girl who was still finding joy amidst her heartache. "You ready for today?" he asked, wiping syrup from his mouth. Lily hesitated, her fork hovering in the air. "Can we go see the big slide at the park?" "Absolutely. We'll swing by the event afterward. I promise we'll have some fun first." She beamed at the thought, her earlier apprehension dissipating as she finished her meal. After breakfast and a fairly chaotic cleanup, the two of them changed into comfortable clothes. Jake caught a glimpse of himself in the hallway mirror. The last few weeks had been tough, but today was different. He felt a flicker of hope, igniting something deep inside him. They were moving forward together. For the first time, he believed it. Once outside, they hopped into the old car, excitement bubbling in the air. As they drove to the park, music filled the space, drowning out their worries. Little by little, Lily began to sing along, her voice light and carefree. Jake joined in, letting their shared laughter drown out the haunting silence that had once echoed in their home, the park. They found the big slide, surrounded by cheerful children and their parents. Jake's heart swelled seeing Lily's eyes widen with delight. She dashed toward the swing sets, leaving him to park the car. "Can we go up together?" she shouted from the top of the slide, a grin lighting up her face. "Sure, just hold on tight," he replied, climbing up beside her. As they slid down together, a rush of pure joy washed over them. It was as if the world faded for a moment, leaving only their shared laughter. After an hour or so of swinging, sliding, and running, they headed toward the community event. A canvas of colorful tents awaited them, filled with families laughing and mingling. Jake felt a twist in his stomach, suddenly aware of how vulnerable they were about to feel. "Are you ready?" he asked, glancing down at Lily, whose eyes were wide, absorbing the scene. "What do you think will happen?" she whispered, biting her lip. "I think we'll meet some nice people. And who knows, maybe you'll find a new friend," he replied, hoping his smile would ease her worry as they approached a craft booth. Lily spotted a girl her age who was busy painting. The girl looked up and smiled, and in that moment, Jake felt a glimmer of something. Hope? Belonging? He couldn't quite put his finger on it. "What's your name?" Lily called out, taking a step forward, full of curiosity and courage. But before the girl could answer, a voice rang out, loud and cheerful. "Hey, sweetie, I need your help over here." A woman with warm hazel eyes turned to the girl, and Jake felt a twinge in his heart. The motherly tenderness in that voice struck him instantly. "Maybe it's time for both of you to let your hearts open to possibilities," he mused quietly to himself. He glanced down at Lily, who was still focused on the girl, excitement flickering in her eyes as they began to exchange names. But just then, a small family dog broke free from its owner, racing toward them. "Watch out!" Jake shouted, a warning too late. The sight of the tumbling chaos sent a shockwave through the air. He held his breath for a moment, unsure of what would happen next. Would this little incident bring them closer to what they needed, or would it create more distance? As the dog reached them, something unexpected happened. The dog barreled toward them, its ears flapping against the wind, and Jake's heart raced. It was a blur of fur and excitement. Lily squealed, her laughter bursting out, mixing with the startled gasps of nearby parents. "Look, Dad," she giggled, eyes wide with joy. Jake didn't have time to think. The dog skidded to a halt at their feet, tongue lolling out of its mouth, a new friend ready for adventure. Its owner, a frazzled mother with a baby strapped to her back, rushed over, her face flushed with embarrassment but softening when she saw Lily's face light up. "I'm so sorry about that. She loves to run," the woman said, her voice sweet despite her frantic energy. "It's okay," Jake replied, crouching down to pet the eager puppy. "Looks like she found a friend too." As he reached out to pet the dog, Lily stepped closer, tentatively at first, but soon brave enough to scratch behind its ears. The joy radiating from her was contagious. It tugged at something deep in Jake's chest. "Isn't she cute?" Lily exclaimed, her laughter never fading. "Can we keep her, Dad?" Jake chuckled, feeling a mix of affection and a dash of guilt. He wanted to give her everything she wished for, but a puppy wasn't on the list today. "As much as I love that idea, I think she has a home already." Just then, the owner of the dog smiled, kneeling down to Lily's height. "Would you like to help me? We can put her on the leash together. Her name is Bella. She loves kids." Lily's eyes sparkled. "Can I? I love that name." With a nod from Jake, they took Bella's leash and started walking together, giggling as the dog tugged playfully on the rope. Jake watched, the weight in his heart easing a little. Maybe this community event wouldn't be so bad after all as they ambled through the booths. Jake felt a gentle nudge on his shoulder. It was the woman with the hazel eyes again. "You're a good dad," she said softly, her gaze warm and reassuring. "I've seen you and your daughter. There's a lot of love between you." His cheeks flushed with gratitude. "Thanks, that means a lot," he said, glancing down at Lily, whose laughter danced in the air. The conversation naturally shifted, weaving through stories of parenthood and the quirks of life. Jake discovered casually that the woman, named Sarah, was new to the area. She'd just moved in and was looking for ways to meet new neighbors. "What about you? Do you have a family here?" she asked. He hesitated for a moment, the shadow of loneliness creeping back in. "It's just the two of us," he admitted, the words feeling heavier than expected. "But we make it work. That's the best way to do it," she smiled. "Family isn't just who you're related to, it's who you choose to have around." Jake felt a flicker of understanding amidst the lightness of the day. He didn't have to go through this alone. Lily, catching snippets of their exchange, turned around, her brow scrunched in thought. "Dad," she said boldly, "could we take Bella for a playdate tomorrow?" Jake's heart skipped a beat. That could be fun. Huh? But before the focus on their new furry friend could settle, Lily continued, her honesty piercing through the playful light. "And maybe we could invite Sarah too?" Jake froze. The unexpected weight of her words caught him off guard. What had she made all of this mean? Did she wish for a new friend? Or something more? A lump formed in his throat as he glanced back at Sarah, who was mirroring his surprise. "Yeah, we could do that," Jake finally managed, feeling the possibility settle like a shadow over their beautiful day. What did this mean for them? Did Lily harbor unspoken desires after everything they'd been through? As laughter erupted around them, a sense of hope blossomed in the air, but questions lingered. Would Lily ever confess her true wishes? The laughter faded just a little, leaving room for thoughts to creep in and deepen. What if the connection between Sarah and them could grow? Just what kind of heartstrings might this new friendship tug at? As the day wore on, Jake couldn't shake the feeling that something was about to change. And with that thought lingering, he cast a glance at Lily, whose next words would be the tipping point. Jake blinked, the sunlight catching the corners of his eyes as he watched Lily, her innocent face full of hope. What did she really mean by wanting to invite Sarah? The playful atmosphere fluctuated slightly, and he could feel the strings of his heart tugging at the possibilities. "Do you really want Sarah to come, honey?" he asked carefully, trying to gauge Lily's intentions. "Yeah," she said, her enthusiasm unshaken. "She seems nice, Dad. She could be like a friend for us. And Bella would love to play." Her words washed over him, a soft warmth that was both reassuring and daunting. The idea that Lily longed for a bond like this was both comforting and a bit unsettling. Had she been feeling the absence of more than just a dog? Was she seeking out companionship, not just with Sarah but in a broader sense? Jake cleared his throat, the implications heavier than he anticipated. "Okay, we can ask her. But remember, we need to give her space to decide if she wants to come." Lily nodded, her smile unwavering as she tugged Bella's leash, watching the puppy chase after a leaf that danced in the breeze. He couldn't help but admire her spirit. She had a knack for chasing joy, even in the uncertain spaces of their lives. As the event started to wind down, Jake felt a gentle nudging from deeper within. He and Lily had been through a lot. Life after the loss had been tough, yes, but she had grown so much in her ability to brighten their days. Maybe it was time for him to take a leap too, to create a space for new friendships. With Bella by their side, they wandered back to where Sarah was speaking to another parent, her gaze bright and animated. Jake's heart raced as they approached. "Hey, Sarah," he called, his voice steady but carrying a hint of nervousness. She turned, her hazel eyes lighting up with recognition. "Hi there. How did Bella do in her adventures?" "Great. She's wonderful with Lily," Jake replied, giving her a warm smile. Lily stepped forward, her small hands confidently gripping the leash. "Sarah, can we please take Bella for a playdate tomorrow? You can come too. It'll be so much fun." The sudden enthusiasm hung in the air, and Jake held his breath, waiting for Sarah's response. Sarah chuckled lightly, her smile revealing genuine warmth. "I'd love that." Bella would be thrilled. Relief washed over Jake. There it was, a bridge starting to form between them. But with that relief came introspection. Was he ready to open his heart in this way? Could he genuinely allow someone else into their small family? "Great." Lily beamed, eyes sparkling. "We can plan all kinds of games. And maybe we can get ice cream afterward." As their laughter filled the space between them, Jake felt a tiny blossom of hope budding in his chest. But uncertainty still hovered, nudging him gently. What would this friendship mean for their lives? What boundaries would he need to navigate? And what would happen if this click between them turned into something deeper? Something that pushed against all the walls he had carefully built around his heart. As they chatted, Jake noticed something in Sarah's gaze, a flicker of understanding that spoke volumes. It was as if she too sensed the delicate dance of emotions at play. Suddenly, Lily piped up, her innocent curiosity igniting the conversation. "Do you have kids, Sarah?" The air around them fell quiet for a moment, laden with possibilities. Jake's heart thudded. It was a seemingly innocent question but packed with so much potential weight. What would Sarah say? As silence enveloped them, Jake caught Sarah's thoughtful expression, her eyes searching his for encouragement. What was her answer? In that split second, Jake realized that tomorrow's playdate could unravel everything he thought he knew about their lives. And he was both terrified and excited about it. Jake's heart raced. The question hung in the air, weighted with uncertainty. He could see the gears turning in Sarah's mind, her expression a mix of contemplation and something more, something that felt intimate. "Actually, I don't have kids," Sarah finally said, her voice soft but steady. "But I love spending time with kids, and I'm excited to get to know you both better." The sincerity in her words felt like a warm light piercing through Jake's doubts. Lily's face lit up, her curiosity clearly satisfied. "You can be like our friend then," she exclaimed, her arms spreading wide as if embracing the whole world. "Just like Bella." Jake felt a lump in his throat. Lily's innocent desire for companionship was contagious. It hit him with such force the longing splayed across her small face pulled at every protective instinct he had. He turned to Sarah, wanting to gauge her reaction. Her eyes sparkled as she laughed lightly. "I think Bella is the one who's going to be the friend." The playfulness returned, swirling around them. The heaviness of the moment dissipated, and instead, Jake felt the warmth of connection growing. Maybe this was a chance for all of them. A step forward that wasn't just about inviting Sarah into their lives but could signify a new beginning. As they discussed plans for the playdate, Jake felt the edges of his heart starting to soften. Could he really let himself be open to friendship? To allow that laughter, those shared giggles over ice cream, to fill their evenings again? But in the midst of this energized chatter, a dark thought nestled in the corner of his mind. What if this didn't just stop at a playdate? What if feelings started to deepen? Would he be able to handle the complexities of a new relationship? Could he truly introduce another woman into Lily's life, into their lives? "Dad, are you going to be best friends with Sarah?" Lily's innocent inquiry interrupted his spiraling thoughts. Her gaze flitted between him and Sarah, bright with possibility. Jake chuckled nervously. "Well, I guess we'll have to see how tomorrow goes." "Of course." Lily beamed, oblivious to the weight resting on her dad's shoulders. But she was right, one day could change everything. After exchanging numbers, the trio began to part ways, the sun shimmering low in the sky. Jake walked hand in hand with Lily, Bella prancing joyfully by their side. Jake glanced sideways at his daughter, who was humming a melody, her energy infectious. He felt a painful sweetness bloom within him. "What if you and Sarah become really close?" he remarked lightly, testing the waters of what she might feel. "Then maybe she can come to our family dinners," Lily exclaimed, her excitement bubbling over. "And play make-believe at home." Jake smiled, but doubt flickered. Could this merely be wishful thinking? The thought sent another pang through him. He wanted to protect Lily but also yearned for her happiness. That night, after tucking Lily into bed and kissing her forehead, Jake sat alone in his living room. Quietness surrounded him like a gentle embrace, yet he felt uneasy. He scrolled through his phone, searching for something to settle his mind. He came across a photo of his late wife, their smiles frozen in a happier time. Fingers trembling, he felt a shiver of longing creep through him. Was he betraying her memory by allowing someone else to step into their lives? With a sigh, he placed the phone down, staring into the emptiness before him. Tomorrow would bring challenges he hadn't anticipated. As he lay in bed, unable to shake the worried thoughts, he realized that tomorrow's playdate could be a pivotal moment not just for Lily but for him, too. What would happen if Sarah's presence ignited feelings he thought were long buried? Would his heart open or close even tighter? As sleep struggled to find him, Jake felt an urgency gripping him. Tomorrow's playdate might just unravel the very fabric of their past, while stitching new bonds for their future. The next day dawned bright and hopeful. Jake woke to the sound of Lily's giggles as she played with Bella in the backyard, her laughter echoing through the open window, weaving strands of joy through his worries. He rubbed the sleep from his eyes and got out of bed, feeling a strange mix of anticipation and anxiety bubbling in his chest. "Dad, come see," Lily called, her voice bursting with excitement. He stepped outside, brushing his fingers through his hair, and found Lily dressed in a colorful dress, twirling like a little whirlwind. Bella barked joyfully, chasing after her, both of them exuding a pure, unfiltered happiness. Jake's heart warmed at the sight. He crouched down next to his daughter. "You look beautiful, kiddo. Are you ready for your big day?" Lily nodded vigorously, her eyes wide. "Yes. I can't wait to show Sarah all my drawings." She then spun around again, her dress flaring out like the petals of a blooming flower, and Jake couldn't help but laugh at her enthusiasm as they prepared to meet Sarah at the park. Jake's mind raced with thoughts and questions. What if things went well? What if they clicked, making this more than just a casual meeting? But as he pushed open the car door, breathing in the fresh spring air, he made a silent pledge to himself. He wouldn't let fear shackle him today. The drive to the park felt like both an eternity and a brief moment. Lily babbled excitedly about the games they would play and all the things she wanted to teach Sarah. The innocence of her happiness chipped away at Jake's reservations, making space for the warmth he wanted to feel. The hope nestled deep within. When they arrived, Jake spotted Sarah by the swings, her eyes scanning the playground until they landed on them. She lifted her hand in a wave, and Jake felt a flutter of nerves ripple through him. "Hey, you made it," Sarah said, her voice ringing soft like a welcome bell as she approached, her smile lighting up the area around her. "Of course. Lily would never let us miss it," Jake replied, trying to sound more casual than he felt. "Yep," Lily shouted, hopping from one foot to the other. "I made you something." She revealed a hand-painted card, its colors vibrant and joyful. "Oh wow, this is beautiful," Sarah exclaimed, kneeling to admire the artwork. "You're such a talented artist, Lily." Jake watched as Lily beamed with pride, and something inside him shifted. This connection was real. He could sense it in the way Sarah engaged with his daughter. For a moment, it felt like a family gathering, almost normal. They spent the next few hours playing games, sharing stories, and trading laughter. Jake couldn't help but notice the effortless ease between them. Sarah listened intently to Lily's tales, and Lily responded with animated gestures, their sparkling exchange making Jake feel like he was on the outskirts of something wonderful. But then, an unexpected moment broke through the lightheartedness. Lily darted over to him, her expression suddenly serious. "Dad, what if Sarah becomes my best friend like Bella?" Jake knelt down to meet her gaze. "That would be great, right? But what if she wants to be more than a friend?" The question caught him off guard. He hesitated, unsure of how to respond. How could he explain the delicate dance of friendship and love, especially the future he hadn't yet dared to envision? "Let us just have fun today, okay? We can see what the future holds later," he said gently, trying to keep the mood lifted as they continued to enjoy the day. Jake felt both exhilarated and anxious. When would it hit him that this might be the start of something new, something terrifying yet exhilarating? Just as those thoughts circled in his mind, he caught Sarah looking at him, her eyes holding a hint of curiosity. "Jake, can I talk to you for a moment?" He nodded, his stomach tightening as they stepped aside. "What's wrong?" she asked, her tone edged with concern. "Nothing's wrong," he insisted, though doubt crept in. "Just, this feels special." Sarah's expression softened, a shared understanding in the air between them. "It is special," she replied. But before either could delve deeper, Lily darted back, pulling on Jake's hand, her face alight with excitement. "Can we play tag next?" she asked breathlessly. Jake's heart twisted yet again. He wanted to protect the sweetness of this moment, but felt the tensions lurking just beneath the surface. Could they navigate the complexities of life together? Could Sarah become woven into their tapestry of family? As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the park, Jake realized they were at a turning point. This entire day could ripple forward or draw back into the folds of uncertainty. Tomorrow, he thought, and just then, Lily declared, "Let us have a picnic tomorrow." Jake's heart lifted. He glanced at Sarah, who was smiling, seemingly as entranced by Lily's proposal as he was. Would tomorrow bring yet another opportunity for connection or push them both away? As the laughter continued, uncertainties lingered like shadows. What would it take for Jake to truly open his heart again? And what awaited them just beyond the horizon of friendship? The next day, Jake woke before the sun had fully risen, the world outside still wrapped in soft shadows. The excitement from yesterday lingered in his mind, but now anxiety sat heavy in his stomach. He dared to reach for hope, yet the familiar grip of fear tightened around his heart. "Dad, breakfast," Lily called from the kitchen, her joyful voice breaking through his thoughts. The sweet scent of pancakes wafted through the air, pulling Jake from his bed. He dressed quickly, desperate to shake off the worries that clouded his mind. He found Lily already at the table, her little legs swinging beneath the chair as she doodled on a piece of paper. The sun streamed through the window, casting a warm glow over her focused expression. "Look, I'm making a picture for Sarah," she exclaimed proudly, not looking up. Jake's heart tugged at the sight. A mixture of warmth and trepidation surged within him. "That's amazing, sweetheart," he said, taking a seat across from her. "What are you drawing?" "And Bella," she finally looked up, her eyes sparkling. "And I want to write her a note that says we're best friends." A wave of affection washed over him, but the moment was fleeting. How could he navigate this burgeoning friendship? What if things evolved beyond his control? The complications of relationships began to drown out the happiness he felt moments before they wrapped up breakfast. Jake couldn't shake the feeling of the day ahead pressing on him like an incoming storm. "What do you want to do today?" he asked, trying to keep the mood light. "Can we go to the park again?" Lily's enthusiasm poured out like sunshine. "I want to show Sarah my new drawings." Her excitement was infectious, and with a reluctant smile, he nodded. "Sure, let us pack a little picnic for later, too." By mid-morning, they were headed to the park, the sun shining brightly, casting a glow on everything around them. As they approached, Jake's heart raced with anticipation. He spotted Sarah already at their favorite picnic spot, her hair dancing in the gentle breeze as she laid out a blanket. "Hey, you made it," Sarah greeted, her smile wide and genuine as she stood up to meet them. Jake felt a warmth spread through him, a reassurance that perhaps everything would flow naturally. "Hi, Sarah," Lily chimed, racing over to her. "Look, I made this for you." She held out her drawing, beaming with pride as Sarah admired Lily's art. Jake felt an unexpected swell of happiness. This was it. This was what it meant to form connections. But as they set down the picnic basket, Jake noticed a quiet moment between Sarah and Lily, a glimmer of something deeper in their eyes. He hesitated. Was he doing the right thing? Letting them grow close like this? "Do you want to play tag?" Lily chirped, breaking through the tension that clung to Jake. "Only if you promise to let me win," Sarah replied, diving into the playful spirit. Laughter erupted between them, and Jake felt his heart lift as he watched, yet a flicker of doubt remained. While the girls dashed off into the playground, Jake sat on the blanket, watching them closely. What if Lily's admiration for Sarah turned into something more? Could they truly bond like mother and daughter? The thought set a flutter of apprehension in his chest. After a round of tag, the girls collapsed beside him, breathless and giggling. But as they settled into the picnic, the air shifted. Jake sensed an unspoken question lingering in the shadows. "Thanks for today," Sarah began, her sounding more serious than before. Jake's breath caught. He could see she wanted to delve deeper. She was searching for something he wasn't sure he could give. "Let us enjoy the food first," he suggested, forcing a smile. But the warmth in his chest had begun to share space with doubt again as they devoured sandwiches and fruit. The conversation danced lightly at first, quirky stories about Lily's school friends, shared laughter at the ridiculous antics of Bella, who was glued to their side, hoping for dropped crumbs. But then Lily turned serious once more, her little voice cutting through the lingering tension. "Sarah, would you want to be like a mommy? Like Bella is my puppy?" The question hung in the air like a fragile balloon, ready to pop. Jake's heart thudded painfully in his chest. He stole a glance at Sarah, who froze, caught off guard by the innocence of the inquiry. "Whoa, that is a big question, Lily," Sarah replied, her tone cautious. Jake felt his own pulse quicken. This moment could tether them together or send them spiraling apart. Would Sarah dance around the topic, deflecting the question? Or was she ready to lean into it, to explore something deeper? With hope and fear coiling tightly in his gut, Jake held his breath, waiting for Sarah's answer. What would she say? What might it mean for all of them? Sarah's gaze darted between Jake and Lily, her mind racing to process the little girl's innocent question. The laughter from moments before faded, the weight of expectations settling heavily on her shoulders. She liked the idea of being in Lily's life, yet the path that would lead there felt daunting. Well, she started, a gentle tremor in her voice. "Having a family is a really special thing." Jake watched her closely, each word wrapped in uncertainty. He felt the frantic beating of his heart echoing the silence. There was a growing tension, an eagerness that tilted the air around them. "I think you're a really good friend, Sarah," Lily piped up, scrunching her little face with concentration. She leaned in closer, her earnestness shining through the remnants of childhood innocence. "You could be my bestest friend forever. And maybe that's like a mommy, too." Jake's breath caught on the cusp of a sigh. His sweet girl didn't quite understand the depth of her own words. In a way, she was asking for more than companionship. She was yearning for a bond that filled the spaces where hope and absence met. Because, well, some kids have moms and I only have daddy. So wouldn't that be cool if we had both? Lily's voice was bright, yet Jake could see her searching for approval, perhaps some validation for her longing. Sarah's eyes glistened, reflecting the sun as she took a moment to absorb Lily's wish. "Could be cool," she finally replied, more to herself than to either of them. "It's definitely a beautiful thought." In that moment, Jake felt an unexpected pang of vulnerability. Sarah was thoughtful, compassionate qualities that entwined with the very fabric of family. But what if he was only setting them up for disappointment? The picnic basket sat heavy on the blanket, adorned with sandwiches and fruits. But to Jake, it felt like a vessel of unvoiced emotions. "What do you think about that, Jake?" Sarah asked, turning her gaze to him. Would you want that?" The question wrapped around him like a warm blanket yet bore the weight of a storm. Every instinct told him to shield Lily, to keep things as simple as they could be. But another part of him ached for companionship, for the fullness of a family, whether it included Sarah or not. "I'm not sure, honestly." His voice softened, underpinned by the turbulence that rose in his chest. "Being a dad is a lot of responsibility, and I want what's best for Lily." For a heartbeat, the world paused. The laughter of children seemed a distant echo, fading into the background as honesty lingered in the air. "But if it were possible, if you two genuinely connected, what then?" Sarah's question was brave, pulling at the threads of possibility that Jake had been afraid to touch. "I guess it could be wonderful, right?" He exhaled slowly, measuring his words. "But I don't want to hurt Lily if it doesn't work." His gaze shifted to Lily, whose eyes danced with excitement and innocence. She was dreaming big, imagining a world where everything fit together neatly. Jake's heart both swelled with love for her and twisted with doubt for himself. So, maybe, if things felt right, Sarah smiled tentatively, we could explore it together? The prospect felt like a breath of fresh air. But Jake hesitated. Could he allow himself to hope? I don't want to jump to any conclusions, he started slowly, glancing at the two of them, but the idea of connection, it's worth thinking about. Lily clapped her hands excitedly, her eyes sparkling. That would be fun. Jake felt a sudden urge to protect her joy, to cradle it close. This conversation was a soft beginning to something uncertain yet thrilling, but it was still just a thread on the loom of their lives. As they finished the last of their picnic, Jake recognized the tenderness in his heart, the flicker of potential that could either grow into something beautiful or unravel just as quickly. Whichever way it turned, he knew it was going to take courage from all of them. And just as they began to talk again, he realized there was still so much unsaid. What did Sarah truly want from this? What would it mean to Lily if things were to change? Hand in hand, they walked toward the park entrance, laughter ringing as they shared silly jokes, but uncertainty lingered just beneath the surface like a shadow. Jake stole a glance at Sarah. She met his eyes, a challenge, an invitation. What lay ahead was a tangled mix of hope, fear, and possibility. Would they step forward together, or would the complexities of relationship pull them apart? As the sun began to dip low in the sky, casting golden hues across the park, Jake felt a sense of clarity break through the fog of uncertainty that had enveloped him since the first moment he and Lily met Sarah. They were wrapping up their picnic, chatting about their favorite snacks when Jake realized that this day, this small gathering, was not just about a playdate. It was about connection, healing, and allowing hope to unfurl its wings. Lily's laughter rang out like music, brightening the air around them as she and Sarah raced toward the swings yet again, Bella trotting faithfully beside them. Jake watched his daughter, her joy contagious, wrapping around him like a warm blanket. For the first time in a long while, he felt something shift in his heart. Maybe it was the possibility of laughter filling their home again, or perhaps it was just the image of a new chapter waiting to unfold. Jake! Sarah's voice startled him from his reverie, and he turned to find her smiling warmly. She gestured toward Lily, who was swinging higher, her face lit up with pure glee. "You're such a great dad," she said, her voice softer now, laden with sincerity. "It's clear how much you love her." The compliment wrapped around him like a gentle hug, but also pulled at the deeper struggles he carried. He knew he was doing his best, but was it enough? The uncertainty crept back in like a familiar shadow. "Thanks," he replied, his voice steady but filled with an undeniable vulnerability. "It's been a journey, you know?" His gaze drifted back to Lily, who was pumping her legs vigorously. "I just want to make sure she feels whole. I don't want to take away from anything she's already had." Sarah nodded, understanding flickering in her eyes. "That's exactly how it should be. It's not about replacing anyone. It's about creating something new." There was a truth in her words that resonated deep within him. Jake felt an urge to be brave that fueled his desire to explore this connection further, not just for him, but for Lily. As they settled back onto the picnic blanket, their conversations flowed more easily. They began sharing personal stories, finding common ground in their dreams, aspirations, and even their struggles as single parents. Jake noticed how warmly Sarah listened, her eyes alive with interest, as he opened up about his wife and the beautiful memories they created together. "Lily talks about her mom sometimes," Jake admitted, a lump forming in his throat. "I want her to hold onto those memories. But I also want her to feel joy again, without guilt." "You're handling this beautifully," Sarah said firmly yet gently. "Just remember, it's okay to allow love to take different forms." The air was thick with honesty, and Jake took a breath tinged with a sense of relief. He realized that he didn't have to carry the weight alone. This bond was beginning to take root, a tender shoot gently unfurling in the light. As the laughter of children melded with the soft rustling of trees, Jake could see the connection blooming before him. He couldn't help but think of Lily's innocent wish. Could Sarah fill that motherly space? His heart whispered. Could she bring warmth into their lives without threatening the sacredness of what they had lost? Lily suddenly burst onto the blanket, her cheeks flushed and eyes sparkling. "Dad, can we have a sleepover tomorrow? With Bella and Sarah?" Jake chuckled at her enthusiasm, but he felt an unfamiliar jolt of excitement ripple through him. "A sleepover sounds like a lot of fun. What do you think, Sarah?" There was a flicker of consideration in Sarah's expression, one that mirrored Jake's own mix of hope and apprehension. "I'd love that," she replied, a smile tugging at her lips. "Then it's settled," Lily declared gleefully. Jake's heart swelled. It felt like they were pulling the threads of possibility closer together, weaving them into the fabric of a new family. As the sun set, painting the sky in breathtaking colors, Jake took a moment to lean back against the blanket, looking both at Sarah and Lily. He felt a rush of gratitude wash over him. For this day, for the connections blossoming, for the potential ahead. "Can I say something?" Jake asked, his voice low but clear. "I know it's still early, but I want to be honest about how much this means to me. Engaging in this friendship feels like stepping onto new ground, a place where we could perhaps all find happiness together." Sarah met his gaze, vulnerable yet unwavering. "I feel the same way," she said softly. "I didn't just come here to meet you both. I understand the hope and healing that can blossom from friendship. I want to be a part of that." Lily, oblivious to the weighty conversation, raised her hands theatrically. "Can we start with Bella's party tomorrow? Because first, we need to celebrate her." Their laughter rang like bells, shattering any lingering doubts. Jake realized in that moment that maybe, just maybe, they could form something beautiful from all that had shattered. As they gathered their things, the sky deepened into twilight, stars beginning to twinkle overhead. "Tomorrow is a chance for us, a new beginning," Sarah said, her voice warm with promise. Jake felt himself smile, a genuine expression of hope spilling from his heart, crossing an unknown threshold into the future. Together, Jake whispered, as they headed towards their car, hearts lighter and spirits lifted. Together they would face whatever came next. And in that moment, amidst laughter and joy, Jake knew he was ready to embrace the possibilities ahead: the love of a daughter, the nurturing of a friend, maybe even the magic of family reborn. Now, the call to you. Subscribe immediately to our channel, so you won't miss the upcoming exclusive stories that inspire. Leave a like now to fuel the algorithm and share the love. Comment below about your feelings from this heartwarming conclusion. It matters to us. And for goodness sake, share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see how transformation brings hope. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second.